Hey PokéDad fan club, it's me PokéDad again, and I wanted to do just a quick thoughts and improvements on that Mega Mewtwo X deck that I built and battled with in Tuesday Night Fights today. So I actually was surprised at how well it played. I think against big basics EX decks, I think it's going to play quite well actually, because that 200 damage by having a stadium in play it's going to knock out all those EXs. I mean, Eviltals, Seismitoads, even Giratina, like we saw in the, if you've watched the battle videos, it just rolls right through them, and you can sweep pretty well. May struggle against some mega decks. That I didn't put the Giovanni's plan in there to help with, like the Mega Manectric or Mega Gardevoir, or I guess there's a few others like Latios and Gallade. You don't see those as much, but it could still help. It is a pretty bulky Mega itself, so it's going to be able to take a hit too. Mega Tyranitar could be a problem, but I think you're going to be able to attack faster than him. So those were just some of my thoughts. As far as improvements go, I think there was one obvious thing that I missed, and you know, to be a really good deck builder is not so much about making this awesome deck and coming up with these creative ideas, though that's part of it. I found that to be the best deck builder really just requires play testing. And when you play test something, you find out, man, it would have done really good if only this. And then you can add something to address that issue. And so the area where I feel like we could have done the best is more on energy acceleration. Now I had Landorus there, and he was accelerating energy pretty good, but I realized, and this is so obvious, but sometimes when you get into deck building, you're trying to cram so much stuff in that you just overlook something that seems like it should be so obvious. And so the thing I would add the most of is I would add 3 of these. 3 Mega Turbos. Alright, now where we get them from, I'm not sure yet. Let me give you a couple ideas though. We could take the Zero Sick out. I don't think that that's necessary. I feel like with Giovanni's plan being a draw supporter, even though it's a very light draw supporter, we could either get rid of a Birch or a Shauna, and then that would give us 2 Mega Turbos. The other place I feel like we might be able to pull it from energies. We might be able to go down to 11 energies. Maybe like a 7 fighting, 4 psychic. That could work too, especially since now you have to not worry about attaching to Landorus as much, and you'll have the Mega Turbos to help. So those are some of the areas where I think we could take cards and add 3 Mega Turbos in. The other place is, and it's maybe a little more risky, but it also could be a greater reward, is just taking the Landorus line out completely. And then we could maybe put the Meloetta line, which is a new card from that set. We could potentially put that in so that we would have a basic attacker that does decent damage. I mean, I think if you have a psychic and a fighting attached to it, you could potentially do, I want to say 130 or 110 or something like that. It's still pretty decent for a basic attacker. And Smeargle in there can change the colors for the Meloetta also. So, and Meloetta, if it has 1 psychic energy on it, can do a lot more damage than if it doesn't. So that's just my thoughts. The Landorus line is pretty good though, so I'm you know, I'm probably more inclined just to keep it in there. I guess technically if we really needed to get Landorus to attack, we could. But I don't think we really need it. Especially since Mega Mewtwo's attack goes through all walls. The other thought is you even could technically get Hoopa charged up, attach a Psychic Energy, then use Landorus to bring a Psychic Energy from the discard pile, and then attach another one. But since we're playing a little bit fewer Psychic Energies, it might not be easy to do, and it's not really necessarily the best attack. I'm just saying, I guess if you really, that was your only recourse left, and you could turn Hoopa into an attacker. A couple of just quick thoughts though that I want to give you regarding the reserve ticket. I was kind of like just playing it just to see what it would be like. And since it is a flippy card, that means, you know, you're going to 50% of the time it's going to be a wasted card in your deck. But the 50% of the time that it does hit, it's just really good. I mean, it's like a computer search, except that you have to put it on the top of your deck. But there's so many cards to grab that card. Trainer's Mail, Sycamore, Shaman, all of these can help us grab that card right after we've put it there. So I'm beginning to think that might be even a possibly 3 or 4 of in the deck, maybe. I think it's going to be like one of those cards where people thought Trainer's Mail was pretty bad, and then they're going to be like, this is not too bad. So anyway, I'm going to play test that obviously some more and just see if it's really worth the space, but I'm beginning to think it is. I also think that there might be more room for another Trainer's Mail, so maybe even go to a 3-3, 3 Trainer's Mail, 3 reserve tickets. And again, it would depend on if we wanted to run the Landorus line or not, or if we could find space elsewhere. But anyway, guys, so I've done the deck. I hope that gives you a good idea of how it works. And anyway, this is PokeDad signing off. Hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.